I am live, coming to you live on a Saturday night. I was going to record this, but I decided to just go live and just talk a little bit some stuff about the hobby that's separate from my other thing I do on Sunday night, which is a lot more fun. And we might even talk about this a little bit tomorrow night. But I just want to be my words, not attached to anybody else. Uh, I'm not going to try to be controversial or anything. Uh, I'm just kind of recording this live just to see if anybody else wants to talk. And later, if enough people join in, I might open it up, open the stage up a little bit. So you might be wondering, you know, what do I want to talk about tonight that I didn't want anybody else attached? Well, it's several things. First is just the whole grading mess that we got going on, and PSA seems to be getting back somewhat. I still think at $30 uh, for what I use PSA for, just still not there for me. Um, and plus, why send it to them for PC or stuff I can still sell with SGC labels? Um, because that gap has gotten a lot closer now. Maybe they'll spread back out once more and more PSA, and I have a story to tell. Once more and more PSA, gets out there, that gap will separate. But you know, because I have noticed that either people I'm finding a lot more raw at shows, a lot more raw on eBay. Um, they're just rather hold on to their card than these PSA guys. Uh, they just rather hold on to it and wait for PSA. Uh, and I don't blame them. You can do whatever you want with your cards. I modern stuff, I don't mind buying raw. And then if I want to grade it, I'll get it graded. I have to admit, in my own PC, I've gone to a lot more uh, of raw, and I've changed on kind of how I'm doing graded stuff. Now, how you doing tonight, Andy? Uh, so that's the first thing. Just talking about PSA and their customer service, just how they did things, still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm the type of person where, like, if I go to a restaurant, I got terrible service, I might give them a second try. But if they poop on my plate and tell me it's a steak, I'm not going back. And I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna go back to PSA, but it depends. And let me tell you, if I have a big card, I'll be dumb, right? Let's be honest. If I got a big card and it's something that I want to get graded later, um, get paid, maybe sell off later. PSA is the way to go. It's not rocket science, but for me, SGC for most of my stuff that's my PC, better cards, things that I might sell, might hang on to, kind of on the fence with. And then CSG is for all my low end, like my Virginia PC stuff, a lot of Mets rookie and first cards that I do that people, really, other than me and Mets fans, really don't care about, or their family members. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. And the PSA thing. And but what I really want to talk about is, I didn't even know this was a thing, and I talked about it on one of my group chats that we have on Messenger today. When I got back from my LCS, I went to my LCS today. I picked up a box of jumbo, which kind of reasonably priced. I think it was like $30 more than what it was pre-pandemic. I picked up a regular hobby box yesterday because I didn't have the jumbo yet. I haven't opened up any of them. I got a box of Gypsy Queen, and I also picked up a box of Star Wars Bounty Hunter. People that are in the chat listening to me, is my volume okay? My volume on my last video stunk to high heaven. I apologize for that, but it was showing off cards, and you really didn't need to hear my ugly voice to hear it. So I hope my volume is fine tonight. But back to the story I was going to tell. So I'm in the LCS, and the gentleman it's an older gentleman, probably early 40s, late 30s. So it's not, older, like I'm 50. So, I mean, but it's not a young person. He sat there and goes, I didn't hear the card and I wish I would have. I'm going to send it to SGC to get it pre-graded. And I'm sitting there going, pre-graded? Like, what is, thank you, Andy. What does pre-graded mean? And what he's doing is, I've listened to him, what's up 357, is he's using SGC because how hard they grade over PSA. And it's cheaper to send it to SGC and he gets it back so quick. What's up, Jeff McMahon? He uses SGC as his pre-grade. And if he gets a good grade on it, like a 10 or 9.5, he'll crack it out and send it to PSA. I was like, holy crap, really? Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself going, what is, like, I know you're trying to sell it and get the most, but by that point, what's the difference in SGC and selling at PSA in month? I mean, is it hundreds of dollars or is it dollars? I'm trying to figure it out because it depends on what you're talking about as well, too, what card it is. And he said he had 4 of them at home, SGC 10s that he wanted to crack out and send to PSA now that the price is. Because I'm sitting there going, well, he must be thinking at $30, there's less than $4.99 is the price of the card at a 10. I'm thinking, is it that feasible to do that? Is that, I was kind of, I mean, I got my boxes and rolled out. I kind of was kind of taken aback a little bit. I also got some wrestling cards too today. I forgot about that. Some Prism packs. Has anybody else? I know pre-pandemic, before SGC and PSA shut down, that was the thing. Find SGC cheap on eBay, buy it at a 9.5, 10, 9.5 especially, crack it, send it to PSA, and hopefully get the 10 premium. But I didn't know that was still a thing now, and I didn't know people sent to SGC to get pre-graded. That to me, just, if you do that, more power to you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a old school collector, because still to me, I've only been grading now. I want to say but probably 6-7 years now, because grading is, I'm a newer guy to the whole grading thing, but I dove in head first, try to learn as much as I can. And I'm sitting there going, if SGC gives you a good grade and then it's a good grade, you trust SGC more than you do PSA. I know you're using it for the $30 cheapness to get the pre-grade, but that should tell you right there. And I'm not one for the other. They all have their place. This new tag, I think that's a big gimmick. And I guess they're not really, coming forward with all their information. They're holding a lot back. But good luck to them. More people in the marketplace, more shares, the better we all are. Because, PSA is always the way to go for grading because they have the set registry. Yeah, that's C357. That's where I'm at. My Gary Carter, Johnny Benches, I have some Johnny Benches that I'm going to probably send to PSA because at the $30 mark, it's worth it for me. They're closer to that $4.99, but I don't have any really Gary Carters right now that's worth more than $5 to send in at the $30 mark. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's going to be Lightning, but I love hockey because I love the Capitals. I just think the Lightning are so darn good. What's up, Victor? Good show this morning. Way to fight through it, brother. Made some good points. I'm glad you're on because I want to talk about my whole thing with the Fanatics deal. So that's how I feel about that. Not a big deal, but I just want to kick it off. But my deep thought is really my first one. And I hope everybody caught that. It's an old SNL thing. GMA all the way. Yeah. I would go GMA before I would HGA. Deep Thoughts is an old SNL skit. It was hilarious. Made me crack up as a younger man. So I was like, and I think this is going to be something I do randomly whenever a lot of things happen in a hobby. I just want to talk through it. Then my next thing is the Series 2. I did buy some. I got a jumbo and a regular hobby. Hey, Scott, it can be viable, but if you're cracking out a card, you're not sending something for the minimum $30 level. You're looking something that would get in an upcharge anyway if you tried that. It would have to be, Carlos. When I heard, I almost just wanted to talk to him, and I should have, but I didn't know how to approach it without being. I didn't want to be condescending. I really wanted to know. I wanted to be like, hey, I've never heard. Well, I can't say I never heard it. Not done that way. I know when I've seen people get it at a very low, grade, or a high grade at a low price, they do that and try to flip it. That's what I understand. But my next thing is the Series 2 baseball. Man, I'm really heartbroken with Topps over this. I know when everybody saw the checklist, everybody was PO'd, including me. But when they brought out the short prints and super short prints and they had some of the rookies in it, people were like, kind of let them off the hook. I'm not. It's not part of the set. It's not a base card. It's not, to me. I'm an old school guy. To me, the rookie is in the flagship. This stuff, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I had one set. I didn't have variants unless you called a gray or a greenback a variant. I respect the long con. Hey, I'm a big Trout fan. 357 knows it. But I think everybody's a Trout fan, so to some extent. But putting it in there like that is just very. I don't know. It's kind of a skeezy way to make it a chase to sell more product. And bless their heart for doing it, as my grandma would say. It was great marketing. It's a great marketing tool because I know in the past, Series 2, I don't think it's done well since 2019 for them. In my recollection, but see, then they're going to put them in the base for updates. So this way, they're making it a chase in Series 2. And then the update is going to have them. Now, my only thing with update now, and I don't think they're going to do it. I hope Victor's still here and some other people that I know, Gorman and Adley Rutschman. So Adley Rutschman, it's not as bad as, we forgot to give Vladimir Guerrero a number. But to me, to make it a short print or whatever, and they've been in there, that's, to me, to us, it's kind of, if you want to make a short print, make something funny where they're blowing gum or playing catch with a kid, whatever, do something like that. But they should have put one in the base set of each of the players and not have 4 more Wander Francos and have a short print of Wander Franco. But I hope they don't put Gorman or Rutschman in update as a short print or super short print. Because oh my gosh, if you thought Bowman was an issue with that last year, Bowman's best, they already made them call ups, and now, man, if they do that, this whole thing's thrown upside down. Yeah, shenanigans. I'm going to use your word quite a bit tonight, Victor. Shenanigans. It's 100% shenanigans, and I'm going to say it again. My grandma is always with me. I can hear it. Bless their heart, because it was slick, and I commend them for it on a business end. But as somebody that likes to get that first card, get it, now that I've been into grading now for almost going on a decade, I like to get it graded, so it's in my collection forever. I try to get all the bigger name rookies and first cards in my collection, because I'm a collector first, second, and third. I sell. It's hard for me to sell. I got a stack over here to send to JT eventually, but I'm attached to all my cards, and I love them. I love having them. I love to have a wall of cards in a room where I go in, and you just look at them, and they're there. But does anybody else feel the same way on that rookie card, or how they did this, how moving forward? Because I don't think Fanatics has come in yet this soon and kind of started their way of doing things yet. I think what we heard, the news on the college stuff, is Fanatics. But if Topps is doing this now, what do we expect to see next year when Fanatics is running the whole show, and they're trying to get tenfold and their money back? This type of stuff makes me a little nervous. I brought it up before. How they did a call up with Adley Rutschman and Gorman. Adley Rutschman was supposed to be on the Orioles to start the season. Yeah, that's 100% true, Andy. There's no way to be 100% consistent, but I do believe SGC and CSG are doing a hell of a lot better than PSA. And I still will grade with PSA too. I don't think PSA is so bad where I'm like, oh, they stink. I just think if you had to hold a gun to my head and go, which ones do you think has more consistent? That's my answer. But my deal with this is shenanigans of the rookie cards, and just it's always a debate to begin with, and then throw it out here like this. I guess because I'm an Adley Rutschman fan, I still like the Orioles. I'm a Virginia guy. I grew up with the Orioles as my home team, so I want them to be better. And I think I'm a catcher. Grew up a catcher. I think Adley Rutschman might be my next Gary Carter. I think he's that good. But for them to do the call up and then play these shenanigans right now, that's pretty bad. I'm with you on that, Jeff. They could have done short prints and had them in there. That's what I don't know. And I guess maybe if they would have done that and put Adley Rutschman and Gorman in the update, it would have maximized. By next year, there's going to be somebody else. That's what happened with, with a little bit with Yonder. I mean, I think he's kind of forgotten about a little bit right now for two reasons. Astros, people hate the Astros, and he wasn't even in on a cheating scandal. And I think them holding him back to be in a series one of the next year hurt hurt his hobby a little bit. Then he got hurt. But man, that guy's hitting rockets right now. He's a beast. He's going to be around for a long time hitting rockets. Yeah, we're all excited about somebody that's on our team. I know Carlisle loves his Braves. Yeah, we're all excited about, and for me, something that kind of caught me on. I watched Victor this morning on the hobby talk show. What's the name of that, Victor? Give yourself a little plug. Yeah, we need a union. Yeah, I'm not a big union guy, but when you need them, you need them. As long as I ain't got to pay dues, you could be our shopkeeper or whatever. You know? Hobby hotline. Thank you so much. Where they were talking about doing like more regional stuff. To me, I like players from all over. I don't want players just from the Southeast. And, I don't want Atlanta cards. I want Mets cards. I want Angels. I want J-Rod. By the way, from my understanding, J-Rod first card that was sold went for like $700. Has anybody else heard that? Because, okay, I'm happy for whoever got it, but come on. I mean, he's killing it, but let's be real. See, that's the issue I have is so bless anybody that pulls it and the Bobby Witt, and you can sell it. But I want to keep them. I want to get them graded, and I won't buy them for that price. I'll just wait till next year and get them. Maybe I can get one for 40 or somebody grades and gets a 7. I'll take that and crack it and have it just in my collection. You grade, you cry, I buy, right? I mean, that's the new slogan that our buddy, everybody's hello friends, has put out there. So, and kind of my last issue for my deep thoughts, and is the Fanatics in college. I'm gonna Chipper Jones. I do love some Chipper, and he played for the Braves, and that's the one guy I did like. Jeter for the Yankees, Mattingly for the Yankees. Can't stand the Yankees, but you got to respect them. The college deal, if I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. If you go back to some of my videos when that deal was struck that college players can get paid for using their likeness and sign autographs and all that, I stated right then, this is where Fanatics needs to jump in. After they already got their NBA and all that, I was like, right now, they don't have to wait till their stuff starts because they already have deals with all the colleges. I don't know if they have Notre Dame because Notre Dame is separate from the NCAA. I hope everybody kind of knows that. But I know, like, you can get NCAA, division schools, but Notre Dame is different. And colleges is tough because you got to go through so many different layers to who wants college player cards. We're going to get to that in a minute, 357. But I was like, this is their start. I was kind of looking for them to start putting out college cards with the Fanatics logo on it. Don't need tops, but now I guess it's with tops. But they're going to 100%, like y'all were saying this morning, Victor, that's going to be their tops now. That's how I think it's going to get rolled out. That's how they rolled out the stuff with the AAU basketball was on the tops now. That way they know exactly how much they need to make and all that stuff. But I also think they're going to put out sets. Now, what does that look like? Is it going to be all the college sports together, separate? Who knows? That's what I'm waiting to see. 357. I buy a lot of Prism draft baseball. Now I know it's not a big deal. But I love the college uniforms. I love watching the College World Series. Virginia got knocked out last week, but I got my Virginia players. I got the one Virginia auto, and they're in their college uniforms. I love that. And there's going to be people that root for a college. Could you imagine all the Alabama fans or Ohio fans when they put out players from Ohio or Alabama in their uniforms and it's autos in it, all of that? They don't even have to be nationally like a high, get drafted. I think those cards are really do well, and those could be regional very easily. Yeah, LSU has a huge baseball following. That where you play right there, that's almost as loud as when you play in Death Valley there in LSU. So there are baseball fields down in the hole too, from what I understand. So it gets loud there. Yeah, Jeff, we're going to what we want, what we want, and there's nothing we can do about it. Yep, that's and I'll deal with it. I'm not gonna cry over it. It just kind of this whole week when it got to with the players and the rookies and people on their videos opening boxes, going, all the checklist is going to be bad, but they got the short prints. Man, you know how hard it is to get one of those short prints? You can't even get color in these boxes, and you think you're going to hit a short print. Now, I hope you do. I hope I do. I hope we all get one. Maybe there's one in every box. It's like a Lucky Charms toy or something. Who knows? Man on second rule and extra innings needs to go. We can talk about that in a minute. So, yeah, the whole thing with the Fanatics, and they got the contracts where they're already in all the bookstores across the country. They got lid stores and all the malls. So, and now they're going to be in all the not only bookstores, they're at the facilities already at the stadiums selling Fanatics goods because they already got the stuff already laid out. That's why I said today, Victor, this was just a natural progression. I knew this was coming. It's just going to be a matter of time to get the contracts laid out. I'm just waiting to see how they're going to proceed with it. What kind of cards are they? What are they going to do with it? Are they going to – I would love them. If you're going to do it, I think they really need to include a women's – because women's college sports are heavily watched. This softball tournament was heavily watched, of course. They had one of the greatest female softball players ever play in this tournament. But, they do have a professional league, but nobody knows about it. Same, the women's basketball, they have the WNBA, but I think more people watch college basketball when a tournament time comes. And that's something that I think there's an opportunity. Is probably not a huge one, but I don't know if that's going to help their tenfold in the future. And they're beginning to sell beer college games. A lot of colleges I've been going to, they do, or at least I'm already drunk. Maybe they don't. I just didn't know it. I don't know. Yeah, I heard at Virginia Tech they're selling them. Sorry, I got a little bit of a runny nose. My allergies today have been killing me. Now we can talk about some fun stuff here. Man on second rule and extra innings needs to go. I like it, and I'll tell you one reason. It's kind of like the fourth man in hockey, or playing 4-on-4 in hockey for the shootout. I think you're saving pitchers' arms. They only got so many players on a roster. The only way you can do it without that is if you extend the roster, but not all the players play. They got 26 players. You extend it to 30, have 4 guys that are not dressed out, kind of like they do in hockey, so you can keep fresh arms. I would go along with that, but it's really helped with the pitching. Nobody wants to go see a AA pitcher. we got enough of that in the majors now as it is. There's some bad baseball this year. That's my. I understand why you don't. I'm more of a traditionalist. I was against the DH forever. And then I was like, they need a DH. This is ridiculous. Pitchers are horrible. You got the National League, they have to manage. The American League, they don't have to manage. You just wait till the guy gets to 100 pitches and you pull him out. The National League, you might have to pull your pitcher out a lot easier. It just, it's crazy. I agree with that assessment. In the regular season, I don't care. In the playoffs, go 300 innings if you want. But in a regular season, super long season game isn't worth much. Yeah, and that's another thing. I know it comes down to end of season where you're going to have a play-in game, whatever. And that one game you can go back to. Well, then win it in 9. Just play. Just be better, right? How do you get better? You just get better. Practice. And then if they don't score after 11 innings, just put your 2 best guys out there to a home run contest. Especially need that role this year. They're cramming all these games, and yeah, exactly. And they missed the beginning of the season. That's 100% correct. They need this, and I'm telling you, pitching to me, they want to extend the league by 2 more teams, and I just can't see it. It's just going to make the richer teams richer and the poor teams poor. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you have 2 more teams, you're going to stretch out all these guys that, these pitching staffs that already have like a number 3 as their starter. 2 more teams are going to be in the same situation. And then the richer teams can just, a lot of more teams are going to be playing for the future than right now. So they're willing to trade off their better parts for what they can get in the future. We already have that going on now. It's no rule they can make that make everybody competitive enough to stop that from happening. And how do you enforce this competitive rule? I don't know. But, that's, to me, that's, that's one of the greatest commercials ever. I don't miss pitchers hitting, to quote Greg. And Greg Maddux could hit. I mean, he knew how to handle a bat. That Braves whole pitching staff could hit. Kind of like the Mets. I mean, if DeGrom comes back, you got an extra pitch hitter on your bench at that point. 4 divisions of 4 teams in each league equals 32 total teams. Yeah, I understand that. Because right now you have uneven amount. You got Houston and Texas in the same division. Everyone on the Braves staff could bunt. They could. And are you talking about it now? That's a great weapon. And I tell you, a lot more people are doing that this year in a regular season because with the shortened preseason, teams didn't have time to work on fielding as much. And plus, fielding is gone down. There's a lot of softball infielders. And what do I mean by that? Getting these great hitters and just sticking them somewhere. I'm sorry. I know I have a lot of Philly friends, but that's Philly's big problem. You take out Bryce Harper and you were hoping he was going to be the guy in the outfield that's going to hold it together. I don't know how do you qualify that? I like Harper. He broke my heart going to Phillies, so I'm an anti-Harper fan now. Anywhere but the Phillies. I could have stayed it, but I don't know. And I know they're playing really well now and hitting really well. So who's to say? But they got to score a lot of runs. Yeah, to beat the shift. Greg Olson was saying that in the College World Series. If you can't get a bunt down, and it don't even have to be a good one, teams will stop that mess. I've seen some guys do it this year and make the fielders field, and they usually throw the ball in the outfield somewhere, and then you get a second. What was the World Series? Was that the Royals World Series when they won it and they were bunting and the team couldn't field the bunts? Two in the Division Championship and in the World Series. Was that the year that was going on? I can't remember. The Royals could hit too. Just by putting a ball in play, not large angle. Baseball has been a baseball for over 100 years, and people want to reinvent the wheel all the time. Anybody else got anything or any comments, questions? Want to get on? I'll post the thing on there if y'all want to get on. Somebody wants to get on, chit chat. Was just a little impromptu. I feel a lot better if I can get off my chest. I really don't have anybody in my neighborhood. I got Nats, man. We can talk anytime, and we'll be on tomorrow night. I will have Dr. Exclusive. I think Carlos is familiar with him. I've seen him on there talking. He does mostly Instagram. He's a hockey guy. I kind of want him for playoffs, and he's my guy. I ask questions for hockey. Hey, Colorado Sports Dude. A lot of pitching coming in healthy soon this year. I hope so. The Mets, DeGrom's throwing. They're talking. It might be a. Oh, okay, yeah, and we're going to talk about the expo too because Carlos, you might be seeing me next year. I'm trying to go to the fall one, even though I know it's cold up there. But I think that'll fit what I need. I really want to go to one of those. It's on my bucket list. I like to go to the shows and get to Toronto just to go see Toronto. I know it's a great city as well. So I'm really Jack Del Rio thoughts. LOL. Yeah. He was a great player. I can't wait to get him on tomorrow night, pick his brain. He was like, what do you want me? I haven't talked to him like this. Me and him chat back and forth on Instagram. Like I said, he's my hockey guy. I'm trying to. I know how it's played. I know the rules. I know the big players. I just don't know all like the everyday grinders. When I open up a pack, if it's not one of the top, 2, 3, 4 guys outside of Washington, I don't know what to do. And you probably should know what you're doing if you're collecting it. But for me, it's in my collection. Kershaw pitching right now. Scherzer, DeGrom, Chris. Scherzer probably won't be back till after All-Star break. DeGrom, there's a chance. Chris Sale. The other red flag is Bieber beat Shane Bieber's velocity. His velo is down. I don't think the Indians even getting people would even talk to him about trades. It's a big red flag. I've been hearing a lot about that as well. I love my baseball, if you can't tell. I listen to MLB radio. I try to watch a game every day. My Mets are at 10 o'clock at night, so against the Angels. Yeah, Soroka. The Braves pitching is – I knew this was going to happen with them and the Phillies. They were going to catch fire. I know the Phillies, the way they're built, they're going to be going up and down. And the Braves, they're just built for the long haul. They got a steady pitching at the front end. They just need to get their bullpen and closers. And I just think that team, even with Freddie Freeman leading, I was kind of worried about the steady hand at Freddie Freeman. You could tell that he was at the quick pitch and MLB tonight. Can't miss for me. Yeah, good. Carlos. Yeah, Carlos, I gotta say I'm kind of new to his channel, and I have reached out to him on Instagram as well, and he's very open to talk. I tell him He knows his he. I know him as Madonna. I always said Madonna, but you say it in a different way, and I know you're right because he's your guy. So, but at least I know who that is. I'm better actually with the early 1990s and 80s hockey players than I am today. But now I watch only Caps, and the reason why I know them is because I used to play Sega Genesis hockey all the time. Me and my friends would just burn that up. And we used to call them the hockey gods. I had them pictures lined up on my wall. I love Gretzky. He's the reason why I watch hockey at all. So and I had Caps for WDCA out of Washington. Complete games put me to sleep sometimes. I can tell you this: if I'm usually having on, I have 3 screens for my computer. I usually have it on one of my screens, and I have the volume down most of the time, and I'll have just regular TV on, or I got my cards. Right now, I got cards everywhere. I'm doing a little changing up how I'm doing things. They came close with Hampton. They've had some good pitching in the past. Hampton did pretty well there. Who was that? What, 4 or 5 years ago? They had 3 pitchers that had 15 wins or something. Not Michael Fuller? Who else was there? It was a Gray. Trying to remember. They had a really good pitching staff. Of course, their splits away are going to be so much better. But if you can pitch, I think they got to find pitchers that attack the zone and just don't worry about the long. Try to keep the men off of base, and if you give up a 1-run homer, call it a victory. Obaldi was also for a year or 2. Yeah, he was, and then he just kind of went away. He was really good. Can't blame me. Playoff hockey's still fun, but I barely watch regular season hockey. After Madonna retired, so it's basically been 12 years, which is annoying since I started collecting stuff in 95. Yeah, I don't really collect. I can tell you, Connor McDavid, he kind of took me, of course, because of the Caps. Ovechkin, my dad loves Yoshi. Judge is killing everybody, Victor. He's gonna hit 60-some home runs for as long as he stays healthy. He's gonna. I don't know if the Yankees can pay him or not, or because they want to make money, so they're gonna have to figure out who they're gonna pay. But they'll probably pay him because he brings seats, brings the butts in the seats. So it's hard to figure if you want pitching or Judge, because they got already some bigger contracts with Cole and Stanton. They could probably still use a catcher. But yeah, Judge is just reminds me of his rookie season and the second season, the way he's hitting this year. He's on just a complete tear. As a not, yeah, and since the Steinbrenner kids have taken over, they claim they're more money conscious. They want to. When I tell somebody that the Yankees lose money, they can't believe it because they own Yes and they own the stadium and rights and Yankees pinstripe. Everybody knows it. It's kind of like the Cowboys and Manchester United. You could put a Yankee hat anywhere in the world and everybody's going to know who it is. But they want to make money, and that's as a businessman. I'm waiting for the Mets owner a couple of years to wake up and go, where did all my money go? But if they don't win a World Series. I hope it don't happen because it's been a fun. I really enjoyed him as it's been refreshing after the last deadbeat owner we had. Hey man, that small market New York team needs to be responsible. You should support them in this. Yeah, they're not small market. I'm not saying they're going to close up their checkbook. I just think you can even see it in some of the like free agent pickups and what they've been doing the last few years. Um, they're not going to play money ball like the Athletics or Tampa. Tampa Bay, what they do every year is amazing. They got to be one of the best front offices in sports. Then the Cardinals, just fantastic job they do in Tampa. And to play in that division, that's my problem with my Orioles is how do you get better in the East and you're with Boston, Yankees, Tampa, and even the Marlins right now, they got excellent pitching and spotty hitting. Their hitting is not all that great. Well, the Marlins internationally, but sorry about that. Scratch that. But you got the Yankees, Toronto is who I'm thinking about. Toronto, Yankees, Boston, and Tampa. And then you got the poor Orioles who was trying to build in that division. And my gosh, it's so bad. It's the Mets year this year. Who's going to beat them? Well, the Padres did 2 out of 3, and they did it without Tatis. So Machado, he has got to be on the right now early MVP talk. It has to be. Machado's playing like his old Orioles days. Him and Tatis got in that fight last year, that verbal altercation on the field about it's not about you discussion. And when he did that, I was like, wow, Machado might have grew up since his tripping and all that stuff. Maybe, he's in the right direction. And I hope so because of his talent. I would hate for – I think he's an outside bid for the Hall, but I hope they don't not vote for somebody because they already leave people out of the Hall for not being the get-along guy. Jeff Kent to me should be – at least in discussion, and he's not because he didn't like writers and the writers didn't like him. Otani's problem is he plays for the Angels, and how many starts does he get? Because he doesn't pitch every 5 days. It's like 6 or 7. And he has some bad games. When he has a bad game, it's a bad game. He blows up sometimes, and he needs to go to the MAGA school of pitching and learn how to pitch when your stuff's not there that day. But man, what he does is fantastic. To pitch at the level he pitches and hit at the level he's hit, even though he's not hitting right now with the rest of the Angels. But that he's amazing. What we're seeing from him is fantastic. Just amazing. Cy Young, kind of wide open a little bit, but you got some, one guy will step up. I see, like right now, Kopech from the White Sox, he's just tearing it up. So who do you go with? And then he'll get blown up, and then you go somewhere else. But that's the nature of the game we play right now. Thank goodness we have Felix Hernandez that kind of restructured how we do look at the Cy Young when he won it with losing records in Seattle. So, thank goodness we have him. But I think I'm going to get off of here. I love talking baseball. I can do it all night. As you can tell, I love cards, but man, baseball was my growing up. That was my sanctuary. That was my place to go and forget about everything and life and family. And I had a great loving family, but I lived with divorced parents and all of that rigmarole. I didn't handle things very well as a kid. Uh, baseball cards were always there for me. My dad made sure he bought a yard big enough where we could play up until a certain age, and then we went. By then we could ride our bikes to the ballpark and play. So, uh, great stuff, Scott. Give the guy a like on your way out. Thank you, Carlos. I gotta say, Carlos, watching your show has been a little bit of an inspiration for me. I brought it up in my mic thing. I was already doing my Monday night show, but I kind of took it to a different level, I think, now. And doing this is kind of my one-off for telling how I feel. I did show a box of cards. I didn't show one card. I showed a box of cards. I could show a card, though, so that way everybody's happy. We got a Johnny Bench, Don Ross. I did pull my man, though. Yeah, I have a mosaic. I got my card shop shells mosaic. He told me he'd give me, I don't know how many mosaics at a cheap price today. He just wants them gone. But anyway, till next time, tomorrow night, please. 8 o'clock Eastern time, Dr. Exclusive. We're going to be talking hockey, but, me and Nats, man, we're going to be talking about the world of cards, all of it. So it will be hockey heavy. So it's going to be a little different for me. But we're still going to have fun. I gotta make sure we have a card for Pepino, man, if he watches it later. So until tomorrow night, I don't even say next time. Like, share, tell a friend, leave a comment. Tell me if I'm out of my mind for worrying about rookies and the future of that, or how we're grading. Grading's not a big deal to me. I just wish PSA would come out and, like Peter did for SGC, who I thought did it too late, and just acknowledges some of their shortfallings. Because we're leading up to the National. We're 6 short weeks away, and we know they're going to sell out all their spots on Wednesday night, and they'll get them all graded before the show's over with. It's a little irritating to me. But until tomorrow night, see ya.